Regret and anxiety are like silent shadows that follow us everywhere. We torment ourselves over things we can no longer change and fear what hasn't yet come to pass, all while forgetting the only thing that truly exists, this very moment. But today you're about to uncover a truth that is as simple as it is powerful. Peace, clarity, and your freedom aren't locked in a past that's long gone or a future that hasn't arrived. They're right here, right now, because what you're about to hear might just be the key to transforming your life from the inside out. Regret and anxiety are invisible chains that keep many of us stuck. We get consumed by what we did or didn't do, or overwhelmed by what might happen tomorrow. We say we want to live better, to be happier, but we're lost when it comes to how. The truth is, peace doesn't live in the past or the future. It lives here, in the now. The past is just a memory, and the future is nothing more than a mental projection. This moment, this one, is the only place where life is actually happening. Eckhart Tolle reminds us with wisdom, nothing ever happened in the past, it happened in the now. Nothing will ever happen in the future, it will happen in the now. Being present is an art, a daily practice of freeing the mind from the destructive patterns that keep us trapped. It's learning to observe without judgment, to release what can't be changed, and to embrace this very second with courage. Because it is here, in the now, that peace, clarity, and real transformation are born. Stop living in a time that doesn't exist. Your life is happening now. True transformation begins the moment we stop carrying the ghosts of the past and the shadows of the future. We spend our lives searching for peace, longing for change, yet we get tangled in worries and regrets that only keep us stuck. The answer is simpler and more powerful than it seems to fully live the present. Every moment that has passed is nothing more than the memory of a present that already came and went. And every future event is just an unrealized possibility. The only thing that is truly real, the only thing we can actually experience, is this very second. This is where we feel, where we breathe, where we can make a difference. Clinging to the past or fearing the future doesn't protect us. It holds us back. Think about that project, that goal that overwhelms you. Regretting lost time or stressing over what's left to do won't get you any closer. What matters is what you choose to do now. One small step, one conscious action. Your power is born in this moment. Choose to let go. Decide to be present, not as some far-off ideal, but as a commitment to your own well-being. Every time your mind tries to pull you back into yesterday or push you into tomorrow, bring it back to now. Breathe, focus, because it's here in this moment that everything begins to change. It's here that your life begins to transform. The pain you feel isn't just a reaction to what's happening around you. It's a battle unfolding within you. When you resist what you can't change, when you fight against the inevitable, that inner conflict turns into suffering. A past mistake, a wound that can't be undone, becomes a constant echo because you're holding on to something that no longer exists. That inner pain goes far beyond a fleeting emotion. It takes root, feeding on every negative experience, and grows into what Eckhart Tolle calls the pain body, a part of you that seems to need your suffering to survive. It's like a shadow that gains strength with every thought of guilt, frustration, or anger. And the more you allow it to take control, the more it fuses with your identity, until letting go of that pain feels like losing a piece of yourself. But pain is not who you are. It doesn't define you. It's merely a reflection of your resistance to the present moment, a powerful mechanism, yes, but not an unbeatable one. The key lies in recognizing it, in seeing it as a visitor, not your essence. Every time you choose to respond with calm, with acceptance, rather than letting yourself be swept away by anger or sadness, you weaken that pain body. This isn't about ignoring how you feel. It's about consciously deciding not to keep feeding the suffering. Realizing that most pain is self-created is the first step toward breaking free. You have the power to end the cycle. You are not defined by your wounds, but by your ability to heal them. Today, in this very moment, you can choose. You can let go. You can be free. The ego is a master of deception. It hides deep within your mind, disguising itself as pride, logic, or self-defense, when in truth, it's one of the root causes of your suffering. It makes you overreact, cling to the past, fear rejection, and sabotage your own happiness, all in a desperate attempt to stay alive. It doesn't seek your peace, it seeks control. Every time you explode over something minor, or refuse to let go of what no longer serves you, it's the ego whispering that you have something to lose. It tricks you into confusing your self-worth with the need to be right, to stay in control, to never give in. And the worst part is, it does this silently, without you noticing, until the damage is already done. But the ego is not you. It's just an illusion that feeds on your sorrow. Its strength lies in conflict, in friction with others, in the unnecessary tension that wears down your relationships. That's why we often find ourselves stuck in self-sabotaging patterns, holding on to toxic relationships, clinging to pride, resisting forgiveness. It's not that we don't want happiness, it's that we fear what we might lose if we let go of the ego. Breaking free from its grip isn't easy, but it is possible. It starts with learning to observe it without letting it take control. The next time you feel the urge to react, to defend yourself, or to prove a point, pause. Ask yourself, is this my true self speaking, or is it my ego trying to protect itself? Letting go of the ego isn't weakness. It's the highest form of strength. It's choosing peace over conflict, connection over pride, true joy over the need for control. You have the power to silence that inner voice that clings to pain. And when you do, you'll experience something far greater: freedom. Your mind is an endless source of noise, a whirlwind of thoughts spinning between what was and what might be. That constant internal chatter is the root of your suffering, because the ego lives in the mind and feeds off that distraction. It keeps you locked in a never-ending cycle of guilt and anxiety, pulling you away from the only truth that matters, the present. But there is a path to freedom. It begins by disconnecting from the mental noise and refocusing your attention on the most tangible thing you have, your body. When you center yourself on your breath, your heartbeat, the feeling of your feet touching the ground, the mind begins to lose its grip. Pain softens because you stop feeding the inner resistance that keeps it alive. Your body is more than just a physical vessel. It's a sacred temple, as Jesus revealed when he spoke of his resurrection, body and spirit united. It's a channel for full presence, for genuine peace. This isn't about rejecting the mind, but about restoring it to its rightful place. A tool, not a tyrant. Even Buddha, in his search for enlightenment, realized that denying the body wasn't the way. After years of extreme deprivation, he found truth only when he embraced his body, felt one with it, and fully accepted the present moment. When you ground yourself in the now through your body, something profound happens. Clarity, fear fades, the ego weakens, and peace enters. You don't need to escape yourself. You only need to return to what's always been here, this moment, this breath, this heartbeat. Come back to yourself. Let go of control. True freedom begins the moment you stop fighting your mind and simply be. Freeing yourself from the power of your mind begins the moment you become a conscious observer of it. The mind, especially that destructive part, hidden in automatic thoughts and negative patterns, operates in the shadows. It subtly influences what you think, feel, and do without you even realizing it. That's why the first step toward peace is to see it clearly, without getting swept away. Observing your mind is an act of radical presence. Ask yourself, what will my next thought be? Pause there. In that expectant silence, something powerful happens. The mind quiets. The endless stream is interrupted. A space is created. And in that space, you find freedom. With practice, this exercise reveals something essential. You are not your thoughts. You are the one who observes them. And when you truly grasp this, you begin to detach. You stop being carried away by every impulse, every inner judgment. The mind is just a tool, not your identity. The real challenge is to observe without judgment. When you catch yourself lost in anxious or self-critical thoughts, don't scold yourself. Don't label that voice as good or bad. Simply observe it, like watching clouds drift by, without trying to stop them. The power lies in not reacting, in recognizing the mind without being overtaken by it. Listen to your body, that deeper wisdom that doesn't shout, but gently whispers. When you feel tired, rest. When your body asks for stillness, pause. Your mind may push you to keep going, to ignore the signs, but your body knows what you need. Stopping isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Every time you choose to observe your mind without judgment, you take a step toward liberation, a step toward peace, toward a state where you're no longer a prisoner of your thoughts, but the master of your life. Active waiting is so much more than simply being present. It's a state of full awareness, of deep connection with the moment. It's being ready, alert, as if something transformative could happen at any second. When you practice active waiting, you step away from mental distractions, from thoughts of guilt or anxiety, and focus completely on what's happening right now, in your body, in your surroundings, in your breath. Imagine facing a major challenge. Like an exam, instead of worrying about what you didn't study or anticipating failure, you shift into that state of total focus. The mind quiets. The only thing that exists is this moment and the action you're about to take. That clarity, that mastery of the present, is exactly what active waiting seeks to awaken in you. This principle has been practiced in ancient traditions for centuries. Zen masters teach it to their disciples by asking them to sense an incoming strike with their eyes closed, relying solely on their body's perception. It's not magic, it's total presence. When the body is freed from mental noise, it perceives with heightened sensitivity. The mind goes silent, and the self becomes deeply aware of everything unfolding. Jesus taught this same principle, urging his followers to live like a servant waiting for his master's return, not knowing the exact hour, but remaining alert and ready, not with anxiety, but with a profound sense of presence and purpose. This state of active waiting doesn't just sharpen your senses, it transforms your life. It grounds you in the now, allowing you to experience life with greater clarity, connection, and peace. So the next time you face a challenge, instead of worrying or looking back in regret, take a deep breath, step into that state. Stay awake, because it is here, in this very moment, where your true power lives. Living in the now doesn't just transform your inner world, it inevitably reshapes your relationships. When you choose to free yourself from mental noise, judgment, and ego, your inner peace becomes visible. But not everyone around you will be ready for that shift. People still trapped in reactive thought patterns may perceive your calm as a threat. Their ego, which thrives on conflict and drama, will try to pull you back into the old dynamic. They might bring up past mistakes, provoke you with criticism, or try to spark arguments over trivial matters, not out of malice, but because that's what their conditioned mind knows. Still, your transformation doesn't have to create distance. In fact, it can do the opposite. The secret lies in cultivating a presence so deep, it has no need to react. When you learn to observe your partner or those close to you without judgment, without needing to correct or defend, you become a mirror of peace, and peace disarms. Listening with full presence, without the urgency to respond or debate, can heal even the deepest wounds. When you truly listen, with an open heart and a quiet mind, you communicate something far more powerful than any argument. I'm here. I understand you. I don't need to be right to value what you feel. This level of awareness will test your relationship. It won't be easy, because while you choose stillness and presence, the other person's ego may resist, feeling exposed in the absence of conflict. But if you hold steady, if you maintain your peace without giving in to the external noise, the impact will be transformative. Walls will crumble. The connection will deepen. Living in the now isn't about avoiding problems, it's about facing them with serenity. It's understanding that real love doesn't come from winning arguments, but from understanding one another without losing yourself. When you anchor yourself in the present, you give your relationship the space to evolve, to heal, and to blossom with authenticity. Living in the present doesn't mean being immune to pain. It's not a shield that blocks sadness entirely, because some wounds are a natural part of the human experience. Loss, grief, goodbyes, they're all part of life's cycle. Feeling pain in the face of these moments isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign of humanity. It shows that you love, that you care, that you are deeply connected to the world around you. The mistake isn't in feeling, it's in resisting the feeling. Suppressing emotions or pretending they don't hurt only intensifies the suffering. The true path of presence isn't about denying sadness, but about allowing yourself to feel it with full honesty, without getting stuck in it. Feeling is not failure, it's what makes you profoundly human. The key is acceptance. When someone you love is gone, when life gets hard, acceptance doesn't mean giving up or downplaying what you feel. It means recognizing reality for what it is, without adding extra layers of mental suffering, without the endless cycle of what if I had done things differently, or I shouldn't be feeling this way. Acceptance is an act of courage. It allows you to sit with pain without letting it consume you. Full presence helps you face those emotions with compassion. You don't fight them, suppress them, or drag them out longer than necessary. You simply let them be, you feel them, and then, like everything else in life, they pass. Because living in the now isn't about eliminating pain. It's about learning to coexist with it, without letting it define who you are. Peace isn't the absence of sadness. It's the ability to hold it with dignity, knowing that in the end, life always keeps flowing. In that surrender, in that acceptance without resistance, lies your true freedom. Living in the now is not about complacency, nor is it an excuse for passivity. It doesn't mean surrendering to what's wrong or accepting your circumstances without striving for something better. On the contrary, true presence, awakens an inner power that drives you to act with clarity, purpose, and determination. Being present doesn't mean closing your eyes to reality. It means opening them wider. It's facing your challenges without the mental weight of future fear or past guilt. When you're truly grounded in the present, your mind stops creating imaginary obstacles and focuses on what really matters. Problems that once seemed overwhelming break down into small, manageable steps, one at a time. What once felt like too much becomes a series of conscious choices. Think of it like being stuck in traffic. It's not about throwing up your hands and saying, "That's just life," but about staying calm, seeing clearly, and seeking solutions without giving in to stress. Inner peace isn't inactivity. It's wisdom in motion. It's taking action without the burden of frustration, with a clear mind and a steady heart. When you live from a place of presence, your energy isn't wasted on imagined problems. It's available, fresh, focused, and powerful, ready to be directed toward what truly matters. That clarity turns challenges into opportunities. Difficulties become simple situations you can manage, one by one. The present is your greatest source of power. It's not a place of inaction. It's the exact point where your deepest capacity to change your life is born. Don't get lost in what was, or paralyzed by what might be. The only moment where you can act, grow, and transform is now. True power lies in the now. Overthinking is like a silent trap that pulls you into the past, where nothing can be changed, or into the future, which doesn't even exist yet. This mental obsession only breeds anxiety, guilt, and unnecessary suffering. But when you step outside your mind, when you stop being a prisoner to those looping thoughts, something shifts. You begin to experience clarity, peace, and real control over your life. The present is your point of power. This is where you can take action, change, and grow. Your body knows this. It's grounded in the now. It's your mind that wanders, trying to distract you with stories from the past or fears about what's to come. But you are not your mind. You are so much more than passing thoughts. Training yourself to be present is possible. One simple yet powerful practice is to ask yourself, what will my next thought be? And in that brief moment of pause, something magical happens. The stream of thoughts breaks. It's like you've taken the wheel back from the part of your mind that only wants to keep you trapped. The more you practice, the more space you create. And in that space lies true freedom. You'll also come to recognize that a part of you feeds on pain, the pain body, that inner pattern that seeks out negative experiences to sustain itself. But it holds no real power over you if you choose to live consciously. When you anchor yourself in the present, the pain body weakens because it has nothing left to feed on. That's when healing begins. The ego, that false self clinging to pride, control, and external validation, also loses strength when you decide to be fully present. Its power lives in mental noise, but you can choose to observe it without judgment, without reacting. You don't have to obey every thought that crosses your mind. You can simply observe and let go. Living in the now doesn't just transform your inner world, it changes your relationships too. When you listen with full presence, when you're truly there with others, your connections deepen. You stop reacting impulsively and begin responding with empathy and understanding. Not everyone will understand this shift. Some may even feel unsettled by your peace. But stay grounded. Your presence is the greatest gift you can give. Surrendering to the present is not surrendering to life. It's the opposite. It's waking up. It's stepping into real power. Because when you live in the now, you stop being a victim of the mind and start becoming the creator of your own reality. It's not a state of passivity, it's conscious action, a renewed energy that moves you to grow, to heal, to rise. Try it. Over the next few days, listen to your body, tune in to what you actually need, not what your mind screams at you. If your body asks for rest, rest. If it asks for movement, move. Give yourself the chance to experience what it's like when the present leads your steps. And in that stillness, in that calm, you'll discover what it truly means to be alive. The past is gone. The future is just an idea. But this moment, right here, right now, is real. It's the only place where peace, clarity, and the power to transform your life can be found. Don't keep postponing your well-being. Take control. Share this with someone who needs it, and subscribe. Today isn't just another day. Today is the beginning of a life that is present, conscious, and free. Everything you've been searching for is already here.